welcome everybody to another JDM racing video. It's round 2 in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, and we are currently going around the qualifying lap in Q1 to see if we can get a decent place on the grid, and hopefully if we manage this, we can get somewhere near the points on Sunday. I don't know if that was just a Bahrain thing or if we're going to be able to manage it because the car is in a decent spot, but we're going to find out. Let's see how we get on at the end of Q1.
Finished, it's time to remind ourselves once again of our top three: Perez, Sainz and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. So here we are then, welcoming you today to one of the jewels of the Arab world, Jeddah. One of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, second only to Riyadh, gateway to Mecca, and one of the biggest ports in the region. And now, host to the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Norris. Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Gardner and Pierre Gasly. Ocon, Bottas, Mick Schumacher and Magnussen, Vettel, Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So Perez with another pole then.
The formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building.
We're in ninth.
As we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? We'll soon find out.
We're in the top 10, starting on the soft. Hopefully we can keep our points position.
So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is, which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong.
It's going to be a big ask to get Oscar up to support us, but we're going to try and see what we can do from where we are. It's going to be tricky with the barriers, not hitting them, staying clean. Let's do it. Pretty decent getaway. We try and go down the outside of Alonso into turn 1. Hamilton fighting with Leclerc on the inside there. Almost hit Hamilton. We do get a collision, but it's just very minor. Slotting into that 7th place once again. At the front, Carlos Sainz is running in the lead. He's managed to get past Sergio Perez. Trying to streak away now and build a lead to get away from those Red Bulls. Best of the rest outside the top 3, it seems, at the moment. Which, again, I'm massively surprised about, but we'll take it. For as long as it lasts. Looks like he's having an issue.
Okay, clear.
And, maybe Gasly and Ocon. Oh, Ocon's out. On board with Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. P8, and he sounds like he's going pretty slowly now. The rest of the field bunching up behind him. Gasly goes past. He's pulling off. Esteban Ocon out of the race. So I think he may have had a coming together with Gasly there. Back at the front, Carlos Sainz leading the 2 Red Bulls still. It looks like it's pretty locked out at the front there, unless something happens at the pit stops. I don't think there's going to be much of a change. Just brushed the curb there. We're consolidating at the moment. We're starting to drop off the back of the Mercedes now. Mark says we're boxing. Sergio Perez into lap 5, chasing down Carlos Sainz. It doesn't look like he's made any inroads on the Ferrari at this moment in time, but just following round on board, you can see the Ferrari very quick off of those slow corners. Max Verstappen pits. leaves the battle for the lead up to the other two drivers involved, Perez and Sainz. Verstappen, oh, he got cut off by Leclerc there coming in. So he had to be held for another, just a split second there. I don't know if that's going to hamper his battle with the lead too. We'll have to see. And where does he come out? He rejoins. Can he get in front of that Aston Martin? He does. So Verstappen has a little bit of a gap to try and steal a march on the front two. Go then into the pit.
And it looks like the pit crew are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
Mediums go on.
Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race
up
in this
into
compound.
ninth. Perfect for us, really. Coming out into free air. And try and work forwards now from here. It's a good place. Great from the strategy department there, getting us out into a nice clear slot. Further on around the lap, we've got Carlos Sainz being followed by Sergio Perez. And as they come round to the back part of the circuit, Perez has got the DRS. He goes to the outside and he's going to take the lead of the race on lap 6. So Sainz has led since the first lap, and now they're both going to pit together. So Perez in, Sainz in, Mercedes in the background in as well. Medium tyres going on. He does come out in front of the Ferrari. And there's Verstappen. It's going to be so close. Is Verstappen going to get into the lead? The McLaren's there as well. This is so close. Perez trying to get up the inside. Verstappen. Looks like he's got it. So at the moment, after the pit stop shakeout, Max Verstappen with the net lead of the Grand Prix, followed by Perez and Sainz. It's all turned around. Going into lap 9, Sergio Perez gets the drag on his teammate and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Sainz not too far behind, but Perez, the four-man for Red Bull, won the opening round and is now past his teammate and up into the lead of the race. Can he take his second race win?
Behind is 14.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 80. And the time last lap was at 1:51.2. And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
And that's Verstappen trying to come back. Perez trying his best to send Verstappen around the outside, and he does manage to keep hold of his position.
down the final few turns. We've got all top 3 cars right in it for the race win. Verstappen and Perez side by side going down the last straight. Now Sainz has been brought in as well. Who's going to get it? Perez takes it in front of Verstappen and Sainz. Wow, what a finish, grandstand finish to this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Perez taking his 2nd win of the season out of 2, but he was pushed hard for that one. To hold off Gasly and take another 7th place and another 6 points. It's a fantastic result for the team.
Right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in. They've delivered an outstanding performance today and under intense pressure to take a well-earned victory at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Another 1-2 for Red Bull. Wow. Adrian Newey gets soaked in the champagne. And again for good measure. Okay then, so Perez gets his 2nd win of the season in front of his teammate by 0.2 of a second. And Carlos Sainz 0.3 of a second. So the top 3 across the line. And Sainz taking fastest lap of the race, I believe, on the last lap as well. So he gets another fastest lap point. Charles Leclerc 4th, so Red Bull and Ferrari are locking out the top 4 positions again. Russell beating Hamilton for 5th and 6th, so the top 6 pretty much unbreakable at the moment, can't get past them, but wow, what a finish, grandstand finish, top 3. We get 7th again. Thought we were out of position actually, thought we'd qualified too high, but as the race wore on and we got up into the good sort of just outside the top 6, got into a rhythm and yeah, we just kind of kept there really. It was only the last lap or 2 where the mediums highs started to go off a little bit and was sliding a bit more. And Gasly was able to close us down on the hard tyre, but Gasly 8th, Bottas 9th for Alfa Romeo, which is a great result for them, and Haas getting a point with Mick Schumacher. 3/10 behind him was his teammate, so cars running very close here it seems. McLaren, not a great weekend for them. Alonso, he had a nightmare after starting in the top 10. And Alpine, their weekend really not ending well with Ocon as well. Having that coming together with Gasly, I believe. Piastri, I mean, he was started 20th, got up to 19th. He didn't really have the pace. He couldn't match us today, which was a shame, but we have to be happy with the 7th place and another 6 points. In terms of the standings, that means that Sergio Perez extends his lead. Verstappen and Sainz in tow. We are solidifying our place just outside the top 6. And JDM 4th. So Perez starting in front of Sainz. That's where the battle was between those top 3. We weren't concerning ourselves with that. We were looking to just kind of stay out of the way of Lewis Hamilton after nearly clipping him into that corner. Just tucking him behind and making sure that we could make the McLaren not get into the DRS range, and then we would have a decent shot at trying to retain that 7th place. See all the cars behind us. Already there was starting to be a bit of a gap, running pretty lonely in that 7th place. But again, I think that Ferrari unit that we've got in the back of the car is definitely helping us with the straight line speed aspect. We have the best engine on the grid, I think, so even better than the works Ferrari, so it's a bit wide there. It was difficult to get the line right in there. Swinging it round, the direction change is crazy around this track. And yeah, pretty uneventful the second half of the race. We'll take the 7th. So another fantastic result, more points on the board. This F1 22 JDM is looking like an absolute beast. When I think back to previous iterations of the games, we've not had as good a start as this, I don't think, straight out of the box. So this car is looking very, very good. Remains to be seen if we get to maybe a few more aero-based tracks and it's not quite so reliant on the engine, whether we'll still be quite as competitive as we are, but we're going to see how that pans out in the coming weeks. But if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already for more JDM racing action, and until next time, thanks for watching. See you later, guys.